You were there every time. And somehow, you're still no one's first call, not because you didn't show up, not because you didn't care, because you showed up so consistently, they stopped noticing you were there at all. Think about the last time something big happened in your life. Really think, who did you call? Now flip it. When something big happened in their life, did they call you? Or did you find out later? From a group chat, or worse, from someone else. You already know the answer, you've known for a while, and you've been carrying this question quietly. Why, when I give this much, does it keep going only one way? That question isn't a sign something is wrong with you. It's a sign your nervous system learned something a long time ago about what it takes to be chosen, and it's been running that program ever since. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why this keeps happening, and why it was never about your worth. Someone in your friend group got a new job, or went through a breakup, or made a big decision, and you found out, not from them, from a group chat, from someone else mentioning it casually, from an Instagram post 3 days later, and you sat with that for a second. Stomach drops, just slightly, not enough to say anything about. Oh, they didn't tell me. Not in a dramatic way, just quietly, the way you've learned to sit with things. You weren't angry, you were just tallying. Another data point in a spreadsheet you never asked to keep. The people who call you one of their closest friends and mean it completely are the same people who don't think to call you when it actually matters. And the gap between those two things is where this whole pattern lives. I thought I was closer to them than this. You were, you just weren't close in the way that counts when something real is happening. That's not a small thing, that's the whole thing. And if you're honest, you already knew this was coming, because you've been tracking it for a while, not consciously. Just noticing who reaches first, and who never does. Be honest, is this you? Drop a number in the comments. You're the one who texts first, not once in a while, always, and you've told yourself it's fine, that you don't mind, that some people are just bad at reaching out. But somewhere around the 5th unanswered initiative, you started doing something quietly. You started testing, not on purpose, just stopping, waiting. Seeing what happens if you don't send the first message this week. The silence that follows tells you everything, and the thing that hurts isn't the silence itself, it's that they don't notice it. You could disappear for 2 weeks, and most of them would eventually text, not because they missed you, but because they needed something. A recommendation, a favor, someone to vent to, and you'd show up anyway because that's what you do. But some part of you would be counting, quietly, always counting. Am I the only one holding this? You already know the answer, you just didn't want it confirmed. You're going through something, not a small thing. Something that's been sitting in your chest for days, and nobody knows. Not because you hid it perfectly, because nobody asked, they saw you, they talked to you. They sent memes and made plans and complained about their week, and not one of them said, "Hey, you okay? You seem a little off." And the devastating part, you're not even surprised. You stopped expecting it somewhere along the way. You can't remember exactly when, but at some point your nervous system quietly adjusted. Don't wait for them to ask, they won't. You mute the group chat, then check it 3 minutes later anyway, not because you want to be in it, because you need to know if anyone noticed you went quiet. They didn't, so you learn to process alone. To compress the hard weeks into something small enough to mention casually later. Oh, I went through something, I'm fine now. Package, digestible, easy to receive. Because needing something out loud and getting silence back hurt more than just not needing it at all. Throat dry, chest tight. That's not low maintenance. That's what a person looks like after they've stopped believing their pain registers as urgent to anyone around them. Which one felt a little too familiar? Here's the one that cuts the deepest. Think about why people come to you. They come when they need advice, when they need someone to listen, when they need help moving or planning something, or talking through a decision at midnight. You're good in a crisis, you're steady, you show up. And they know that, they count on it. But when things are good, when there's something to celebrate, somewhere fun to go, someone new they want to introduce, your name isn't the first one they think of. You are the friend people reach for when they need to be held up, not the friend they reach for when they want to share something good. And there's a distance between those two things that is almost impossible to explain to someone who hasn't lived inside it. You are needed, you are appreciated, you are not chosen, and you've been confusing those three things for a very long time. Maybe needed is enough. Maybe this is just what friendship looks like. Maybe I'm asking for too much. You're not asking for too much, you've been asking for the bare minimum and calling it high standards because someone had to. But being needed is not the same as being loved, and once you see that clearly, you stop begging usefulness to become closeness. Here's the part nobody says out loud. The first time you weren't someone's first choice, it wasn't a friend, it wasn't a partner, it was at home. Not because the people who raised you were cruel, but because the child who is calm, who manages themselves, who doesn't demand, who never makes things harder than they already are, that child gets less attention. Not less love, necessarily, less attention. The adults went where the noise was loudest, not where the need was deepest, and you were never loud with your needs. So you learned something early that you've been carrying into every room since. Being easy is how you stay. Needing things out loud is how you become a burden. If you make yourself small enough, they'll keep you. You took that lesson out of that house and into every friendship, every group chat, every relationship you've ever been in. You kept yourself easy to have around. You kept your needs compressed. You kept showing up without ever asking to be shown up for, and you called it being a good friend. But underneath it, your nervous system was running a much older program. Don't be too much, or they'll stop choosing you at all. That's anxious attachment, not a personality trait, a survival strategy that outlived the environment that built it. This isn't about blaming the people in your life. Most of them genuinely care. They just never had to learn how to show it, because you never made them. That's not a character flaw, that's just what the pattern built. So what do you actually do with this? Not, love yourself more. Not, find better friends. Something smaller, something you can do tonight. The first thing is simple. Stop filling the silence. The next time you feel the urge to text first, wait. Not forever. Just long enough to see what happens. Because the pattern can't show you who's actually in it if you keep running it for them. It will feel uncomfortable, like you're being cold, like you're doing something wrong. That feeling is the old program talking, not the truth. The second thing is harder. Let one need be loud, not all of them. 1. Tell someone you're not okay. Not, I'm fine, not just tired, something real. Hey, I'm having a hard week. Can we talk? It will feel like too much. It will feel like you're asking for something you don't deserve. That feeling is the pattern. The people worth keeping are the ones who can hold it. The last one doesn't require you to do anything. Just notice who shows up, not who says the right things, who actually shows up. Because this pattern doesn't just make you invisible, it keeps you loyal to people who never had to work to keep you, the ones worth staying for notice when you go quiet, not because you trained them to, because they actually wanted to know. You've been asking the wrong question, not, why am I never anyone's first choice? But, why did I learn to make myself so easy to overlook? Those aren't the same question, and they don't have the same answer. The first one puts it on them. The second one gives it back to you, not as blame, as information. You were not unchosen because you were lacking. You were unchosen by people who benefited from you staying available. And the moment you stop auditioning for a place in their life, you finally see who actually makes room for you. Those people exist. They're not looking for someone easier. They're looking for someone real. You don't have to earn that. You just have to stop disappearing before they get the chance to find you. It's late, the phone is quiet, but you're still here, and that's not nothing. That's actually everything. If this felt like someone finally said it out loud, drop a comment below. I read them.